I've been standing here this whole time and the camera wasn't even on. Anyway, welcome back to another vlog. It's Tuesday. I'm just putting on some lip balm because these lips are dry. Today's Tuesday. I thought I would start off a new vlog. I had a very relaxing start to the day. I've actually booked a massage, which I really needed for the last week or so. I've just been having like a lot of pressure and like, I don't know, soreness in my upper back and in my neck area. And I was kind of waiting for it to see if it would go away, but it just didn't. So I booked a massage. And I actually also have a doctor's appointment in like 45 minutes. I've been having this, I thought this was all connected because the upper back stuff was kind of going into my neck and I thought it was maybe affecting my jaw. I think I might actually have an ear infection. I don't know what I have, so I'm gonna go to the doctor. I wanted to give it a couple days just to see if it would go away because I thought it was maybe like TMJ or something. It still could be TMJ, but I just think it's kind of weird that I feel it in my ear too. I don't know, I feel like everything up here is connected, so we'll see what the doctor says. Anyway, I wanted to tell you guys about what's happened over the last week just because I obviously haven't had a chance to vlog. This past weekend we had my brother in town. He was visiting us for the weekend, so like no time to really film, and we really wanted to show him a good time, so that was really fun. And then the weekend before that was when I was in Florida, which I told you guys about. It was for my brother's like wedding planning trip. Everything was going great. The trip was awesome. We had so much fun. And then Avery and I didn't even tell you guys this. I was supposed to go on this trip by myself. I cannot believe that I didn't start with this. Anyway, Avery was not supposed to be on this trip. It was just supposed to be me. Avery was gonna stay back and like study and do work related things. Basically, I flew Friday morning. I like met up with my brother and his fiance and her family. And then that night after dinner, I went to bed. And the whole day they kept saying like, oh, this family friend that we have, like, oh, our daughter is coming like late, her flight is getting delayed because there was a bad storm happening that weekend. And at first we were gonna wait up for her, but then it was like 10:30. I was like, I'm going to bed, I'll see her in the morning. 12:30 rolls around, my phone is ringing and I'm like, who is calling me? I see that it's Avery. I pick up the phone and Avery says, open the door to the bedroom. I was like, what are you talking about? And he says, open the door, and he is standing there in Florida. It wasn't their daughter's flight that was delayed, it was Avery whose flight was delayed by like 4 hours. And so he ended up spending the weekend with us there anyway, which was so nice. But I just was totally not expecting it, obviously. So anyway, we have this amazing weekend. Avery has the same flight home as I do. So we head to the airport together. Our flight on the way to the airport gets delayed like 3 hours, and this is kind of what we were already expecting because the plane that was supposed to take us to New York hadn't even left the previous destination. So we sit there, we're in the lounge for like 4 hours, the lounge closes, we're sitting at the gate. Everything is looking like it's gonna be fine. I'm not gonna say I wasn't worried at that point, but I didn't have this feeling that I usually have when I think a flight is gonna get canceled. I was just kind of like, I think it's gonna be fine. The other piece of information that's really important is that I had 4 jobs back to back in New York. So I really had to make that flight. It was like the last flight out to New York that night. And these jobs all confirmed the week before or like 3 days before, and so there was no way for me to really switch my flight. And so anyway, we're chilling at the airport. The flight doesn't get any more delayed, and the plane eventually gets there. The crew is like starting to get on the plane, and then the flight attendants come out with all the drinks and the snacks from the plane, and we're like, what's going on? Like, why are they doing this? Also, this is probably like an hour span of time where we hear nothing, like no announcement, no one's on the PA system saying anything. And normally when a plane is arriving, you're getting updates at least. We get no updates. At one point I start to get anxious, and Avery goes and talks to one of the ground attendants, and she tells him that they're basically waiting for one more flight attendant before they can take off. So that kind of eased my nerves for like 5 minutes, and then I just got this feeling that it wasn't gonna happen. And I think within like 10 or 15 minutes, the crew was like, yeah, the pilots are gonna time out by the time we land, which is against our rules, and so this flight is probably gonna get canceled. So at this point, it's 12:30 in the morning. We're exhausted. We've been at the airport for like 7 hours now. I have to call my agent in the middle of the night to let her know that I'm not gonna be able to make this job tomorrow. Luckily, I had already kind of given her a heads up that our flight was getting delayed and that there was a storm happening and whatnot. But to tell someone that the night before, like literally technically the morning of, that you're not going to be able to make a job is just the worst feeling ever. They set up a hotel for us. I am able to make it on the next flight out to Boston in the morning, which is the only seat that was available for our airline and like at the airports that I needed to be at. Avery decides to take one for the team and fly out Tuesday morning because he can technically work from his computer, like just from anywhere. And so instead of a 2-hour flight to New York, I have a 3-hour flight to Boston and a 4.5-hour train from Boston to New York on the Monday. Lucky for me, the client that I was supposed to work with on Monday was actually able to reschedule to later in the week. So I didn't lose out on the job, which was very, very nice. But it was obviously a very stressful situation and just not what either of us had expected. And I also think it kind of sucks that the trip ended that way, especially after you have so much fun and like have such a good weekend. But I have a little bit more downtime in this vlog. I think I might be working on Friday, but that is it. And I worked yesterday. So kind of want to try doing some fun stuff. I have to go to this doctor's appointment, and then tonight I have to work on the playlist for my brother's wedding. That's one of my tasks. And I can kind of explain how we're doing that just because it's going to be a smaller wedding. All of that to say, I want to do some fun things in this vlog. May or may not be doing a little clothing haul in this vlog as well. I'll keep you guys posted on that. I'm just waiting for the package to show up. Anyway, I'm going to get ready for my appointment and I will see you guys when I'm back home. Okay, sorry for leaving you guys hanging, although in YouTube time, I'm never really leaving you guys hanging. But I went to the doctor and then I went to the pharmacy and I kind of just spent the rest of the night working on the playlist for my brother's wedding. I don't have an ear infection, which is the good news. She thinks that I have stress-induced TMJ. She kind of asked me to tell the timeline of when this started happening, and it was around the time when our flights got canceled and I just was feeling really stressed, and she thinks that that probably happened that night and then just kind of like triggered this inflammation in my jaw. So she gave me anti-inflammatories. I'm gonna take those for a week. If it doesn't get better, then she said go to the dentist and get an x-ray and see if anything's going on. But my sinuses are completely clear and good from what she can tell, and there's no sign of infection, which honestly I should have probably known that. But I feel like for me at least, it's always better safe than sorry, and better to just go to the doctor than like try and figure it out myself. I'm sure pretty much everybody's like this, but I can get a little paranoid when it comes to health stuff, especially in the last year or so. I feel like I'm definitely more health anxious than I ever was. It's funny because in other areas of my life, I'm like really quick to calm myself down and like look at the positive, but when it comes to health related things, I'm not that way at all. I can get very worked up. So I'm just glad that I went. Anyway, I've been talking about my brother's wedding this whole vlog, and so I thought I would go into it a little bit. I'm not going to give you guys all the details, obviously, because it hasn't happened yet. So they're going to be having a smaller wedding. It's happening later this year. And because it's a smaller group of people, there are certain things that we felt we could skip because it's just not going to be as big of a party. One of those things was the DJ. And so I kind of wanted to tell you guys about this in case you are getting married and you're having a smaller wedding, because I think that this is such a great way to save money, but also just kind of like customize the music that you want to have. And so I found this person on Fiverr. He is an actual DJ and has, you know, over 10 years of experience in the industry. But basically he offers this service where you can send a custom playlist. You can even put it in the exact order that you want, which is kind of what we've done. And they will create a mix for you that you can just play whenever you want the party to start. Obviously, it's not going to be exactly the same as if you were to have a DJ and he kind of like reads the room and reads the vibe, but it's close enough, and it's honestly crazy how much money you can save. I think it's different when you have more people at your wedding. I think a DJ makes sense for a larger group because they're having like less than 50 people there. This just makes perfect sense. Anyway, I will link this for you guys below in case you're interested. I haven't gotten the full mix from this person, but from what I can tell, it's gonna be amazing. We've received a sample from him and also just like all the samples that they have available for you to listen to on Fiverr. So yeah, I thought that that would be fun to share. It's crazy how you go through this phase where so many things need to happen, and then you get to this place where you've checked off all the big things and there's only the little things left to do. And so you kind of like take a little break from working on the wedding, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, we're like 3-4 months away. We have to do all these things, which is kind of what's happening right now. I mean, we have all of the big things figured out, obviously, but there's so many little things that you have to think about even when you're having a smaller wedding. Things like speakers and I mean, all the food and stuff too, like thinking about dessert and thinking about late night snacks that people might want, and sound system. And if you're not having it at a wedding location, then you have to think about getting all of those things to the location where you're having it. It's just a lot to think about. It's actually been a great experience watching them plan it. And obviously I've had friends who've gotten married and watching them do it first and kind of getting a taste of what it would be like to have to plan it for yourself. It's terrible. Other news, I am newly obsessed with pickleball. I know that I'm like super late to the party, but I've played a couple times in the last few weeks and I just have so much fun with it. I'm definitely not amazing by any means, but I do think that I kind of have the natural rhythm for it. I'm actually really good at ping pong. Fun fact, it's my party trick. Avery has actually been playing for a while. He usually plays on the weekends with his friends. And I played in Florida a couple times, and then we played last weekend when my brother was here. I actually got a little set from Amazon, just like a cheap set, so we could play with him because he's also into it. My whole family's kind of into it. But Avery and I are gonna play tonight, so I just pulled out our set. I can link this if you guys are interested. We really just wanted to get the net, which is in this bag, because the courts in New York are not like the nice fancy courts. You have to pay for those. So the courts that we play on don't always have the lines and stuff, and so you can kind of make your own, but at least you can set up the net and have the two sides divided. And then it comes with the balls and the paddles. The paddles aren't amazing, so if I feel like we're playing a couple times a week, we might upgrade those eventually, but at least we have something to start with. The other thing I realized in Florida, don't mind this outfit because it doesn't go together, but I realized that I really don't have any exercise shorts, like at all, because for Pilates I feel much more comfortable in leggings and when my legs are covered. But for pickleball, it's nice to have shorts. And so I saw these on the Aloe website. I will link them for you guys. I got them yesterday and they are just so perfect. They're so lightweight. This is the lightest material ever. So I think they're perfect for that. They're also just really nice and comfy for running around. They have like a little built-in underwear in there. I just love them. Also, I already own quite a bit of Aloe, and so I figured I would get something from a brand that I already have. Avery was laughing at me yesterday, but if you're gonna play the sport, you might as well have the outfit, and you also might as well feel comfortable. We're gonna play some pickleball. Avery's ready to get his ass kicked, that's for sure. I'm gonna get my ass kicked. There he is, the infamous, my best friend, Avery. Good morning. I just got ready for the day. I have a couple of little things throughout the day, but nothing too crazy. I'm starting out with a haircut. I actually have a big hair week. I'm getting my hair cut today, and then I'm getting my color touched up tomorrow. And I'm really excited for my haircut because I'm actually seeing someone new. I have seen her for a blowout before. I saw her a couple months ago. But we've never done a haircut together, so I'm excited to see how it's gonna look. I have a good feeling about her. So yeah, haircut, and then I have a casting that I have to run to. I'm also gonna try and stop by the agency later this afternoon, but I'm gonna change before I do that. So this is my little casting slash haircut outfit. Bodysuit is Aritzia. These shorts are girlfriend denim. I love the darker wash. This belt is from Lily Silk. This button down is from Suzanne. I love it. It's one of my summer go-tos. I'll link it. Bag I got off Shopbop a couple years ago. I love it. It's just a super easy everyday bag. And then I'm wearing my Steve Madden sandals to tie it all together. I feel like I'm a little speechless because she just fully took care of me at the salon. I think this is maybe the best haircut I've ever had in my life. This is gonna sound crazy, but the last few times I've gotten my hair, I feel like I just don't like it when I leave the salon, and it takes me probably 3 or 4 weeks for me to actually like my hair again. And I can't even explain it. I feel like she just did all of the right things, and it feels fresh without feeling like she took off all of my hair. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm gonna leave her Instagram on the screen so you can check her out, and I'll leave all of the salon information in the description box too. If you're in New York, you have to go here. Okay, I have been not a very good vlogger today, but for good reason. It's just been really busy. I honestly was stuck at that casting for 2 hours. I'm not even gonna lie, 2 hours. So I had to rush back here, drop my stuff, go to the agency because I was just having a little meeting with them. And then now I'm off to go meet Sarah because we're recording a reel together and just having coffee. So I quickly changed. We're doing this reel where we're wearing a very similar outfit, and there's this really funny audio that goes with it. So I'll show you guys what I have on. So I was gonna wait to show you guys this because I'm waiting for the other half of the haul to come in, but this top is from Revolve. It's the cutest little vest. I feel like this is one of those pieces that you just will have in your wardrobe and will wear with anything. It can go with a skirt, it can go with a pair of trousers, but you can also wear it with jeans like this. So that's what I'm wearing. These jeans are from a Goldie. I've had them for ages and they are just my favorite pair of jeans. I'm gonna do the same bag that I was wearing earlier. And then I do have a pair of sneakers on right now, but I'm gonna change into the sandals that I was wearing earlier when I get there. Because I've been wearing them all day, I feel like I need a little bit of a break from them, and this place is a 30-minute walk, so yeah. I just finished my other hair appointment. I'm not even gonna show you because it looks very similar to what it did like yesterday, but she just kind of like moved everything up. Friday, I'm in Soho. It's super busy, and I'm actually about to head back uptown. I'm in Soho now to meet Avery because we're celebrating our anniversary tonight. 2 years with my Avery. It was actually last weekend, but we had my brother in town. Because we've had such a busy summer, we kind of just want to do a really chill night at home. So I'm gonna meet him for a drink first, then we're gonna go to Italy, get some cheeses, get some crackers and like fun stuff for at home. And then we are gonna learn how to play backgammon. It's so random, but it's one of those things that we have always wanted to learn how to do together. So that's gonna be our anniversary night. Anyway, I wanted to check in because I'm probably not gonna be able to end this vlog tonight, so I'm gonna end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.